This video is all about 5 tools that I absolutely love that I've 3D printed. Hey, this is O with CLO Ed TV. Hopefully you've been enjoying the videos on the channel. I really appreciate the views and the comments. And I wanted to do this video to talk about 5 3D printed tools that I really like. I'm a full-time hobbyist and YouTuber, and also finding out that there are tools that you can 3D print has not only saved me time and trips to the store, but it's also saved me a lot of coins. So I'm going to go over 5 tools that I've actually used in projects that I do off camera and on camera, and also some other recommendations. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so the first tool I want to talk about is this protractor. Now, the only reason why I 3D printed this is because I had a protractor, but I couldn't find it. And so I had to go on Thingiverse and 3D print one. And this particular one is by Noe, okay? And I'll leave the link in the description below for each tool that I go over. But this one prints in 2 pieces, and all you do, I just printed the pointer a separate color, but there's a notch here, and you just slide it over the hole and then slide it down for it to lock in place, and it's very sturdy. And there it is. And then it rotates on an axis right there. Alright, and so the videos that you can see that I use this on is the coffee table build and also the desk build. When I was welding the legs up, I needed to measure the angle of the A-frame of the desk and also to make sure that the legs were true on the coffee table. So this is what I used to actually measure to make sure I either had a 90-degree angle or whatever angle that I wanted to set to weld the legs up. So I'm going to leave this as my first tool that I really enjoy. I encourage you to just go on Thingiverse.com and figure out not just the protractor, but different measuring tools that you can actually use for your projects. Okay, so for the next set of tools, I wanted to talk about these quarter round jigs. This corner round tool was developed by Peter Lanoe, and I'll also leave the link in the description below for this corner round. Basically what you do, you just set these on your flat stock of wood, you clamp them down, and it allows you to cut a radius with a jigsaw, or either you can use a router and you can actually cut your corners. Another thing I love, they come in different radius size. So this is a 20 millimeter right here. I also have a 0.5 or ½ inch size, but you can actually print these in different radius angles and get different size radiuses around your tables, chairs, or whatever you're building when you're working with woodwork. Okay, the next tool up that I really enjoyed was this push block. And you can see in the video here that I actually use this push block to cut the stocks of wood I was working on for this project. But I definitely love using this push block. This is a $40 or $50 push block online, but as you can see, it has a nice grip. It actually has these tabs that adjust where it can go onto the stock and you can push the wood through. And this particular one is designed by the push block that I originally designed. I didn't know which designer actually made that, but I will leave one that has remixed the same design, which is Maker Thing 2. So the one you'll see in this picture here will have all the bells and whistles that you will find in a push block like this. But it was really easy to assemble. There's a couple of bolts that hold the handle down. You can't see that because I put this cabinet rubber in there to keep the good grip on the wood. So stuff like this is very expensive but necessary if you're doing a lot of woodwork, especially with a table saw. So this is the next tool that I really love and found to be extremely useful. The next one up is pretty important, and oddly enough, when I was shopping for this particular tool, I couldn't find it in Lowe's or Home Depot. So I had to go to my 3D printer and actually print this tool out, and this is an edge bander trimmer. This particular edge bander trimmer is designed by J Max, okay, J Max, and I'll leave the link in the description below for this particular trimmer. And it works very well. I use it on a couple of coffee tables that I made, and you iron on that edge banding on the side of the wood. You take this tool, line it up, and you just trim it off real nice and neat. and it works better than some of the trimmers that I've seen in the stores. This is a tool that I found as a necessity if you're going to be doing a lot of woodworking, and you can just head over to the 3D printer and print this thing out. So definitely check out this edge banding trimmer. Okay, the next tool I wanted to talk about is one I'm actually using currently. I'm actually redoing my patio and creating some concrete pavers. I'm pouring new pavers. I'm actually pouring some concrete pavers, and I wanted a smooth round over on my concrete pavers. Thus this little mini concrete edger. And don't be fooled by its size, because this thing worked like a charm. When I was sitting edging the pavers, and I'll leave a picture right here so you can see it, it actually left a really nice rounded over edge, as you can see it right here. And I'll just bring it up a little bit so you can see it. It left a nice edge on that concrete paver. Now, I didn't even feel like going to the hardware store to pick up one or spending the money. So I just headed over to the 3D printer and printed this bad boy out. Now I printed two, one so you can see how it's assembled, but here you can tell that you can just glue it here, and that's all I did. I used hot glue, and surprisingly the hot glue held it down. But they recommend that you use acetone with the 3D print, and it makes an adhesive and makes it stick. So that's another way you can attach it. But for example, concrete edger. So if you're doing masonry work, this is a great tool to use when you're making your slabs or pavers, a concrete edger. Okay, I do have a wild card and a bonus, which is this. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, what looks like not much that's attached to this block of wood, this is actually a DIY lathe. Now, in the picture that I'm going to share here, you're going to see that it's all 3D printed, but I made an adjustment where the 3D printed motor mount was. I went ahead and just cut a few pieces of metal and welded this together to make a more substantial mount. And the reason why I had to do that is because I was using a more powerful motor. But the 3D printed one worked fine up until the motor got hot. But that's not the point of why I'm bringing this up. The point is making your own power tools and actually experimenting with different types of tools. If you look on Thingiverse, they have everything from belt sanders to drills that you can actually 3D print and assemble. So the benefit to this is you get to learn how to do a little manufacturing, a little bit of assembly, but also you get to make a useful tool and understand how it works. So this was what sold me to go ahead and get my wind lathe, which I'll point to the video here, where I made some knobs to go on a cabinet dresser that I made from recycled reclaimed wood. Now, had I not learned how to work a lathe with this first, I may not have bought my wind lathe. So stuff like this is awesome and it's great. You can go on Thingiverse, find all sorts of tools and things that you can use. So this is an added bonus right here, being able to create and manufacture your own power tools. So these are the tools that I found very useful. And what do you think about the video? Are there some tools that you would like to see me use on the channel? Or are there some tools that you have used that you have found very useful? Definitely put them in the comment section below so viewers of this channel can definitely check out those tools. That way anybody who views the channel can check out those tools and try them out. Got a couple projects in the works, but you'll be seeing that on the next couple of videos that I do. So if you like the channel, definitely subscribe, hit a like, and drop a comment in the comment section. Also share this channel out with friends and family. Also, if you would like to support the channel, there are support links on the screen and also in the description below. Guys, I always appreciate you tuning in, supporting the channel, and guess what? I'll see you on the next video. Take care.